Well, 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 it looks like the mainstream media and the financial giants are finally changing their view on Bitcoin. Just take a look at what Larry Fink of BlackRock has to say.
Called crypto an index for money laundering. BlackRock
And thieves.
and thieves.
Yes.
Money laundering and thieves.
Right.
You now have the biggest Bitcoin ETF. So what happened here?
I have very strong views, but that doesn't mean I'm not wrong. By having strong views, you have to test yourself and ask yourself. And in my role, I see thousands of clients a year. I have governmental leaders, and we have these conversations. And my thought process always evolves. And this is a very glaring public example of a big shift in my opinion.
But I have to give Larry Fink credit. He admitted his mistake and has embraced the world of crypto. And now his IBIT Bitcoin ETF is the most profitable product at all of BlackRock. Now, here's another interesting one because you may be familiar with Strategy, the company that pioneered the Bitcoin Reserve. Now, over the past month or so, they have been attacked by the mainstream financial giants looking to crush them. But let's hear what Jim Cramer has to say about this.
I would say that this man is not to be trifled with. Sailor will come on Squawk. He'll come on everywhere. He'll come on every show. It wouldn't shock me. He pops up at the White House for all I know. He will do whatever's necessary. He is the Malcolm X of Bitcoin, okay? Malcolm X, yes, right? Yes. By any means necessary, he will defeat the shorts. Defeat the shorts.
We will see.
That's what his job is. I mean, when he gets up in the morning, he puts on whatever kind of men's warehouse thing he's got going. He comes in, he goes, I'm getting him today.
Yes.
I'm getting him today. And I got to tell you, he's good at that.
Usually, I don't agree with Jim Cramer because they have this inverse Cramer effect where whatever he says is wrong. Historically, that's been a big joke, but honestly, it's true most of the time. However, in this particular case, I believe he is spot on. MicroStrategy is looking to do something that's never been done. They're looking to rewire the banking infrastructure and do something unique and opportunistic, and the major banks are shaking in their boots. And it's not just the private sector. Look at what the government is looking to do with Bitcoin.
Can you do what needs to be done with crypto without legislation? And do you think that can happen before the end of the year?
I'm looking forward to having an innovation exemption that we've been talking about now. We'll be able to get that out in a month or so is what I'm hoping. We were impeded a bit by the government shutdown. Obviously, we couldn't work on things during that time, but we're on track and we will be able to forge forward with the crypto area and make sure that we are able to embrace this new area of innovation that for too long the United States basically is just pushed back against. And so I'm looking forward to having rules that are focused on helping that sector of the economy move forward.
Forget about the price for a second and just look at the global macro environment. We've got the SEC Chair Atkins saying they are embracing crypto. They are going to create an exemption for crypto companies, an innovation exemption. Now, you may be thinking what many people are thinking. If everything is so bullish, why has the price gone down? And in just a minute, I'm going to show you my theory on exactly where I think the price is going and how you can position yourself now where the outsized returns are going to be. But first, it's time to bust out our tinfoil hats because there is something happening in Bitcoin that borderlines on conspiracy. You can see Bitcoin had crashed all the way down to about $86,000. This was back on Sunday, November 23rd. We were getting a really good rebound. Everything was going perfect. Then all of a sudden, a coordinated effort to dump the price. Look at this thing, straight down. Instantly, the price dropped thousands and thousands of dollars, dumping from about 92,000 down to about 84,000 in a very short and swift period of time. Then, as if by magic, Vanguard announces that the very next day, the IBIT ETF was going to be allowed on their platform, essentially opening the floodgates to over 50 million client accounts. And look what happened the very next day. it not only reclaimed the level it was at, but has now passed it. Now, if that doesn't scream conspiracy, I don't know what does. The timing was so perfect that all of the Vanguard clients were able to get a massive discount, buying it at 84 and moving it all the way up to nearly 94. Then, just another day later, look what Charles Schwab says. They will start offering Bitcoin and Ethereum trading in early 2026. It's almost as if the big money wanted to drive down the price so that themselves and their clients could capitalize on lower prices. I'm starting to believe more and more that this market manipulation is intentional so that the big money can get their positions at a lower price point. Remember, smart money doesn't buy tops. They wait for dips. They wait for local bottoms to enter. If this information is making sense and you want to take your crypto education to the next level, then I invite you to apply for our DeFi Accelerator program. We run a training program specifically for business leaders and accredited investors that want to master the world of crypto and DeFi, even if they've never done it before. We help people go from complete novices to total experts in just 6 weeks. We help them with the fundamentals, how to stay secure, and how to create income-producing portfolios that can generate thousands of dollars a day in income. And unlike some of the training that's out there, we specialize in high-level investors. We have people that run big businesses inside of our program and people who have sold their businesses for tens of millions of dollars. So if you feel like you missed the boat on crypto 5 years ago, this is your chance to catch up. Just check out the link in the description and book a call with me or my team. We can see if you're a good fit for the program. Now let's talk about what I believe will happen in the coming months. There's 2 main ways this could go, and they could not be more different. We've got one school of thought saying the top is in. We all miss selling the Pico top at 126,000 because the 4-year cycle has been very predictable previously. Now, do I think this is reality? It quite possibly could be. And if that's the case, we're going to need to wait probably over a year for the prices to move back up. However, there's another school of thought. Somebody laid out a theory with some good data showing how the 4-year Bitcoin cycle may have just been coincidental to the business cycle.
It's not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of the correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could see what Raoul is saying. He's saying that it was coincidental that it lined up with the business cycle, and this drop, this pullback, is actually to be expected, and we are nowhere near the top. Now, which one of these 2 realities will play out? It's difficult to say, but I'll tell you what I'm personally going to do. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm personally going to do. I am going to hold my Bitcoin. I'm going to hold it forever. I'm not going to sell it. I believe it's the apex asset, and it will continue to rise over time. On a long enough time horizon, it will outpace everything else. That's what I believe. However, in the short term, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of my altcoins. So the coins that aren't Bitcoin, I'm holding quite a few of them. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive on profit taking and try to just guard my profits on these. And here's why it's so difficult to predict where we're going, because we have conflicting data points. We have the 4-year cycle being over, while on the other side, we have Wall Street embracing crypto. We've got mounting consumer debt, and now we've got rate cuts. So we've got all this conflicting data that usually influences the price. However, it's so difficult to know which direction we're going to go because the data points don't line up. Now, here's the reality. If this cycle is over and we've hit the top, Bitcoin's going to bleed, altcoins are going to get crushed. That is absolutely going to happen if this cycle is over. However, I believe we're setting up one of the most asymmetrical risk to reward opportunities that have ever existed. If we are not ending the cycle, if we still have that euphoria phase and blow off top coming up, then being positioned in altcoins right now is likely going to be one of the best things you've ever done. Not every altcoin is going to explode like last time. I think the tide will raise all ships. However, there are going to be way outsized winners. The last multiple cycles, there was very few tokens out there compared to what there is today. So the liquidity is spread across way too many tokens. However, being positioned in the correct ones is going to be key to capitalizing and getting the most out of this cycle, provided we actually do explode and go to the next leg up. And if you're enjoying this content and you want to get an edge to know where the opportunities are lying right now, then I recommend scheduling a call with me or my team. We run a DeFi Accelerator program specifically for business leaders and accredited investors. We can help you go from a novice to a pro in under 6 weeks and have completely deployed DeFi portfolios that produce income every single day, regardless of how the market moves. So if that's interesting to you, scroll down below and schedule a call with me or my team.